a part of the picture for us until the perception aggregate arises. Okay? Consciousness is just aware. That's just what it is. It's just awareness. Consciousness beholds. Okay? And so, insofar as it's one of the 5 aggregates, and the aggregates are all impermanent, misery, and egoless, we can't identify any part of the consciousness aggregate with the final goal. That's just not what's going on. So it's my view that by identifying Nibbana with an isolated element of human phenomenology, this witnessing perspective, is to commit to a view about Nibbana which takes more theoretical weight than the concept is prepared to bear. So, conclusion. That's exciting. So, I hope to have shown that Buddhism is essentially about Nibbana, that Nibbana is opaque to Western methodology, and that if 1 and 2 are true, then there is a principled aporia between the Buddha Dhamma and Western methods, thus calling into question various piecemeal appropriations of different elements of the Dhamma into different Western systems. Conclusion. There's a deep aporia between Buddhism and the West, and it demands careful attention and respect. Respect for essential differences is the only way for a project of mutual influence to unfold in a responsible way. So I want to conclude with the simile of the raft. And this simile, what it does is it sort of likens the teaching to this raft that we use, and we use it to get from one shore beset with suffering to the other free from suffering. Right? Now, once one has reached the shore, free from risk, we don't walk around with the raft on our back anymore. We don't need it because we're across the river. Right? So thus, even the teaching, the raft of the teaching, which leads to the final goal, becomes unnecessary once Nibbana has been realized. Right? So this simile illustrates 2 points. One, again, to recapitulate the first premise of the argument, that all theory and practice in the Buddha Dhamma, is directed towards the realization of Nibbana. And that Nibbana, once experienced, eliminates the need for theories and practices of the sort necessary to reach the goal. Now that second one has an important caveat. And that is that, this doesn't mean that a person who's become an arhat can abandon strict moral discipline once they reach the stage of arhat. They can't just, start doing whatever they want, right? They can't just stop meditating, right? That's not what it means. The point of that simile is that attachment to views, understanding, even right understanding, if we don't grasp right understanding in the right way, we can do serious damage, right? There's a story the Buddha tells one of his monks about a snake. He says, the Dhamma is like a snake, and unless you grasp it properly and use its venom to get the suffering out, you grab it by the tail, it'll swing around and bite you. Okay? And that's sort of the purpose of the raft simile, right? Intellectualizing the path is not the enemy. We need to use intellect for rational creatures. We're language-using creatures. Conceptual interaction is important. But if it's not properly utilized, it can do great harm. Okay? So, final words. It seems that the West is benefiting from the Dhamma in attempting to build rafts of its own, but has not yet constructed one that leads to the further shore, which has no need of such vessels. As useful as these various aspects of the Dhamma are to Western systems, their origin is in a goal which by its very definition remains opaque to Western methodology. Therefore, a serious risk exists that this goal could be left aside in the West's enthusiasm for raft building. That's it. Thank you. And time enough for discussion, it seems.
Definitely.
That's exciting.
Definitely.